Marketers fear high Dangote petrol price. And telecom service risk disruption as 800 workers begin strike. AGF plans to abolish pardon for convicted looters. That's the Attorney General of the Federation. And APC not behind Tinubu's 2027 campaign billboard. This is according to the publicity director of the party. And we also have 4 billion naira illegal arms. Lawyers' absence stalls suspect arraignment. And just us still staying with the Punch newspaper, operatives visit to Serap office lawful, not harassment. This is according to the DSS. All right, from the Punch newspaper to the Nation newspaper. AGF seeks end to pardon for corrupt convicts. And youths have no excuse not to go to school, says Senator. Navy seeks sustainable maritime practice to realize blue economy. And Labour Party withdraws 2027 automatic tickets for OB and OT. Why DSS arrested Ajero? This is according to a source from the Nigerian Tribune. No pardon for those guilty. Presidential ticket no more reserved for. And federal government excludes varsities research grants from TSA. And NLC threatens nationwide strike over Ajero's arrest. Daily Trust newspaper is next, and thousands displaced as flood takes over minutes to NLC deadline. What Nigerian leaders must do to overcome national challenges. And the Niger mishap, Tinubu orders agencies to enhance security, safety of travelers. DSS breaks silence on action at Serap office. APC postpones National Caucus NEC meetings indefinitely. The Leadership newspaper is next, and Labour stakeholders threaten showdown over Ajero's arrest. Nasima to partner FG to revamp factories' economies. Dangote refinery begins production in October. Workers to wait long for new minimum wage payment. NANS seeks 40,000 naira raise in student loan upkeep, rolls out protest. The Sun newspaper is next, and still staying with the Labour story. NLC puts workers on red alert if FG fails to release Ajero. Research grants from TSA. FG rules out pardon for corrupt offenders. NBA president urges attorneys general to shun corruption. Nasima seeks swift government action to arrest economic decline, business exodus. And for some sports stories, AFCON 2025 were in. Yes, we move on to the Vanguard newspaper now, and Ajeru released as outreach trails arrest. Edo 2024, fear of violence heightens, 11 days to go. And flood cuts off 5 communities, killed 2, displaces 1,000. Suspected Lagos land speculator declares war on police. Kwara killings, IGP orders FCID Abuja to deleted tradition. Okay. APC shift neck, caucus meetings indefinitely. And Labour Party's Aburi. We heard this yesterday. I've done my best. Ighodalo will continue from where I stopped. Governor Godwin Obaseki. And still staying with the Edo election, Obi storms Edo as Akpata recounts pitiable campaign experiences. All right, we move on finally to the Guardian newspaper, and looming strike, labor security agencies in deadlock over Ajeru's arrest, harassment. And Reps Committee accuses BPE of wasting 10 billion naira registering 2 failed companies. We also hear that stakeholders move to recover over 700 billion naira trapped in private placement. Despite economic headwinds, Nigeria generates 2.47 trillion naira from CIT in second quarter of this year. And back to the Edo election, reports predict voter apathy in Edo, Ondo, Goba polls. Student loan upkeep. Family refutes allegation of Akeredolu's selling tractors to private individuals. Police arrest child trafficking suspect, rescue 16 children in Rivers State. US-Africa trade investment rise to $63.5 billion. Afenifere leaders laud Adebanjo's contribution to Yoruba national development. And World Suicide Prevention Day, mental health advocates fault penalties for attempted suicide. Okay, we've taken enough story from the papers across the headlines. Today we take a short break, and when we return, we will look at some of the stories in detail. Let's still newspaper review in a moment.
Did you miss out on the news during the week? Not to worry. Retrospect is here to make up for the missed information. Retrospect is a complete package of all the major news headlines that made the airwaves from Sunday to Saturday. Join me every Sunday at 6 p.m. Retrospect. We keep you informed.
Need a lift? Feeling low, bored, or confused?
Want your dream to brightly glow?
Here is what to do.
Women's Corner is waiting to provide solutions and see you through. Finding your voice, reaching high, and making an impact. Women's Corner, where knowledge can fly.
Join us every Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. for inspiring stories and practical advice to reach all your glories.
It's Women's Corner on Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja.
Woman don't suffer, lower everybody.
Theory behind it, the way the people took the battle in their hands.
Some civil servant retired without a roof over his head. the cause.
If we cannot trust you, then you cannot take the ticket of this country. Hussein cannot be divulged from those who cause the crime. Honestly.
The passion.
You must. On Citizen FM 93.7.
The source is constant.
My name is Lawrence Umoite.
There is always an opportunity.
Tomorrow Insight returns with another interesting
Insight with Lawrence Umoite on Citizen 93.7 FM.
Abuja.
Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this
is your station.
Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.
93.7 FM and its newspaper report on your favorite dial. Welcome to the second half of the show, and this is where we unveil our in-house analyst, Mr. Salman Salami. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the show.
Very good morning to you, the one and only Lord.
And as usual, he'll be helping us make sense of some of the stories in the papers today. Mr. Salami, easily the biggest story in the last 24 hours has been the arrest and later release of the NLC president. And this is how the Punch newspaper captures the story. Ajero's arrest saga. DSS succumbs to pressure as NLC plans showdown. The Department of State Services has granted administrative bail to the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero. He was released a few minutes before 12 midnight. Pro-democracy activist and presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, announced his release in a tweet. Okay, the People's Democratic Party and us, and these are reactions. Ajero was arrested on Monday at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport on his way to the United Kingdom for an official assignment. And Mr. Salami, before you react to that, let's join it with this one, the way the Tribune captures the story. Why DSS arrested Ajero? And it says that the NLC president was picked up. Yes, we've heard that. An official of the agency told Tribune in confidence that Comrade Ajero knows why he was picked up at the time of his arrest without anybody telling him. According to, he was actually intercepted at the airport due to his failure to honor an invitation extended to him by the service. An invitation had been sent to him since last week concerning a petition filed by top NLC leaders against him. And based on this, we have to invite him since the issues raised in the petition bordered on national security. Mr. Salami.
Yes, woman who has, by all standard, the Nigerian Labour Congress is a labor group that no government can disrespect or can take for granted. But Mr. Joe Ajero has a life of his own. Mr. Joe Ajero as a persona. Mr. Joe Ajero as president of a labor group, they are two distinct and different things. Let me say this without any equivocation. All Nigerians are under the law. And we are bound to respect the law of the land. I still want to repeat that any invitation from the police to any person should and must be respected. Even while saying this, I'm still of the view that all Nigerians being exercised by Comrade Joe Ajero, freedom of movement. He has every right to travel to anywhere in the world that he wishes to travel to after he might have fulfilled all the extant laws. To just arrest anybody, not necessarily Joe Ajero, I'm talking responsible body, to my mind, is untidy. Why did you wait until he gets to the airport? If he were to run away, he will not go through the airport. Good a thing that the DSS succumbed. Punch puts it joker, a joker is what is used sparingly. When you use your joker anyhow, it gets to a stage where it becomes ineffectual. This is my advice to the NLC. I will stop at that.
All right, and let's move on to another story, still staying with the Punch newspaper. AGF plans to abolish pardon for convicted looters. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, has said that those found guilty of corruption should not be granted state pardon. Fagbemi, who also advised law enforcement agencies against shoddy investigations, tasked them to have their facts before summoning anyone for questioning. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Communication and Publicity Office of everyone was needed to fight corruption. According to the statement, the AGF spoke at a roundtable organized by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. Statement quoted the minister saying corruption from benefiting from powers of prerogative of all stakeholders, especially the AGs, is crucial in the fight against corruption. Mr. Salami, how would you react to this?
Lawrence, this is a very welcome development. I've been saying it that we should stop rewarding wrongdoings. Whoever has been convicted of corruption is a convict. He should not be allowed to enjoy some privileges again. We should be denied. One of such privileges is to contest election. The recruitment system for elective offices in Nigeria is not particularly good. While I do not say that we should preclude some set of people from presenting themselves election.
So
you have been convicted means that yes does not mean that yes you are now clean and thy sin are forgiven.
Okay, Mr. Salami.
It is not so.
What exactly is
They are in various forms. We are holding you up as a veritable example of somebody who has committed, and we could punishment at times, which are capital, in which case you are neutralized. That to me is not a good. Should be carried out to the letters is the one that any convict should not be allowed to present himself in future for any elective office. There are so many clean Nigerians who can hold public office and perform, or people who have not heard their days in court, let alone have been convicted. The point is this: yes, you have been given fair hearing. I'm saying this, that there should be fair hearing. If you have been given fair hearing, you have heard your time to present your case, and the justices, following the law, convicted you. For God's sake, after serving your term, lie low. There are so many other things you can do without presenting yourself for public office. This is not the same thing as political convicts.
Okay, Mr. Salami, I understand what they're saying, but why am I bringing this up? A few years ago, as a nation, we decided to change the names of the name of our institution where convicts are kept,
Correctional
from prison
center
to correctional centers. What was the essence of doing that? What are you correcting if somebody comes into that facility, serves his time, and gets out? The person is expected to have been corrected, and yet you still punish the person after that. Is that really fair?
You see,
Maiduguri, and this is how Daily Trust captures the story. Thousands displaced as flood takes over major streets. And the paper reports that most of the affected areas are in Jere local government area in the state. And it was gathered that the incident, which began a week ago, reached its peak in the early hours of Tuesday. That's this morning. Many of the residents were displaced. This is sad, Mr. Salami.
They need that water we find is level.
This is sad, Mr. Salami.
They need that water we find is level. And you see, some of these things do not happen. They are not happenstance. When we fail to do what we're supposed to do, this is what we get. You cannot disobey nature. Our nature will not obey us. Nature will punish. Our nature will not obey us. Nature will punish us when we disobey nature. This is punishment from nature for our disobedience, for what not doing what is right. We have agencies responsible for this. They have been telling us. I remember meteorological also things will happen. Do so. NEMA too has been unsparing. Lawrence, I will not lavish my emotion on some things. We need to do the right thing. They have told us what and what to do as people to prevent flooding. Government at all levels have been told what to do. Our people always say that a war that has been foretold.
It's Mr. Salami. Let's move on from the signals we've not very, very encouraged. Fear of violence heightened. 11 days to go. 11 days to the September 21 governorship election in Edo State. The extension in both parties' straight allegations count. Some events ahead of the polls have taken the frightening dimension of around Benin Airport, a development that has stirred worry, safety, and some other things. Mr. Salami, 11 days to election, and I've been following the campaigns, and I know that you have very deep conversations that have to do with the lives of the people, things that affect the people. But all you hear is that somebody's parent, somebody's not married, somebody is this and that. You know, issues that will just wipe up sentiments without addressing the main problems of the people of Edo State. And now you want to add violence to this.
You see, we have been telling whoever cares to listen that election is not war. Election is not a do or die thing. Election essentially has to do with who do we, and I've been saying it. Most of our politicians, I'm saying this with all, we've been hearing and listening on the political scene. We have not seen robust thinking, intellectual or intelligent conversation and engagement as to what and what am I going to do differently. I expect the candidates to tell the Edo people in no unclear terms how they are going to do things differently. Obaseki did so and so. I will do so and so. And this is the advantage of doing it the way I have said, as against the way Obaseki did his own. Obaseki did not do so and so. This, and I make creative thinking in such a manner that will change the life of the people for better. We have seen less of that. All we have seen are ranting and chatting.
Okay, Mr. Salami, because for me, the politicians will always want to get away with murder. They always want to tell you what you want to hear. The opinion leaders, these are people that are expected to tackle questions.
You see, constructive engagement and political education is lacking in this part of the world. And I've been talking about what even our educational system should do. There is what we call civic education when we were growing up. Do you know that as 12 states of Nigeria, there was no student during my own time who would not know 12 states of Nigeria and who are the governors at that level. But the political parties are expected to engage people on what the job of INEC, though it can help. The pressure groups, the NGOs and CSOs, they should do what is right, but they will not go to where they will not get money. And I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility.
Yes, I know.
There is the need to engage our people constructively on political education and voters' education. These are germane. You want to vote for somebody. Why do you want to vote for him in this part of the world? Because democracy is based on some basic assumptions. And like I keep on telling you, assumptions remains
what it is.
And is the lowest level of knowledge. I will leave it at this.
All right. Well, let's come back to the center here. There is a story that should ordinarily, Mr. Salami, be... But let's see. Federal FAAC allocations rise 149% to 13.7 trillion naira in 7 months.